Alright, there it is. That's what a lot of people use on day hikes, even though they have a DSLR at home. There's no reason to bring a point and shoot. I'm going to show you how you can pack your bags, kind of checklist I go through, and still have room for your DSLR and not be uncomfortable. So when you're going on a day hike, of course the number one thing is comfort, so I'll just go through the basics, which you probably already know and probably already do, but make sure you have comfortable shoes. You don't want to get blisters. Sunscreen, insect repellent. I recommend these little wipes more than this can because it just extra space in your bag. Water, of course, and I hadn't packed my lunch, but a lunch. And then if you're doing photography, you probably want to go during the early morning or the evening, so flashlight's always handy in case it's a little dark outside. Comfortable backpack, it's the one I use. And the reason why people, like I said, that use the point and shoots because they don't think they have enough space. Well, if you're using your backpack, take all the junk out that you're not going to use. All this extra junk in your backpack, why don't you take it out of there? You don't need a battery charger in there. Go ahead and charge your batteries beforehand, and you don't need a portrait lens. You probably don't need a flash. All this extra junk, just take it out there. It doesn't matter how small it is. All the small stuff adds up to weight and stuff. So here is all you actually need to take with you. Look at that. Just well, of course my DSLR is not there, but two lenses, one on your camera and then one in your bag. Filter. This neutral density filter, probably a CPL polarizer filter as well, and extra battery and extra card and your tripod. Of course, that's all you need. So as you can see, that's not a lot of stuff. Just take all that extra crap out of your bag. All right, lens choices. Your lens choice might be a little different. I like using this for the end of the hike. This is my wide angle lens for waterfalls, or if I run in, it's a big field, whatever's at the end of the hike that might be interesting. I'll use the wide angle for that. So that's in the bag. What's on my camera in my hand in case I want to run across some wildlife on the trail is a 90mm. It might be different from you. I mainly like taking pictures of insects and flowers and stuff close up, but if maybe you like doing taking pictures of birds, you might have your 70 to 300 zoom lens on there for birds or whatever. So it might be a different selection for you, but it doesn't matter what lens you decide you're doing or what you're shooting. I recommend, I'm going to go over next, ways of setting up your camera to not miss the wildlife or whatever you might run across on the trail that might be gone in 2 seconds. So here's a few settings that I use on my camera that I set beforehand, just so I'll get that shot and not miss it. Other settings on my camera, I want to get everything set beforehand, like I said, just in case I run across some nature stuff that might lose that second and miss the shot. So I set my beep when your camera autofocuses, turn that off. So in case you do run into something, you want to focus on it, you start to focus on it, and then it beeps, and then the deer hears it or whatever and starts running off. Also, if your camera has silent shutter mode, I would put it on that so it's a little quieter. Another thing I'll set up is I'll determine if I need to use autofocus or manual focus. The reason I would use manual focus instead of autofocus is if it's super dark outside, you're just starting the hike and the sun's starting to come up, but it's still dark, your autofocus isn't going to work very well. You can test it out at the beginning of the hike to see if it's going to focus. If it's too dark out there, it'll just go zzz, 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 and you're trying to get a shot of a deer on the path, and it's just so. What you'll need to do is just put in the manual focus and try that. If you're autofocus, you test it out and yeah, it's going to work okay. What I like to do is focus on something at the beginning of the hike, maybe 12-15 feet away, in case I do run into some sort of wildlife. It's already focused out, so if your camera's last thing you shot was something up close and it's focused like 2 feet away, your lens is going to buzz out in that autofocus mode. It's going to go bzzz, and by the time it actually gets focused, the deer might be running off. So that's why I pre-focus it at that length. And that's how I have my camera set up before I start the hike. That way I won't miss any wildlife I just happen to run across on my path. And then at the end of the trail, you could get that beautiful picture of that waterfall. You've got your tripod, you got everything, you're ready to go. So that's how I like to set up for my day hike. Again, just a reminder, if you're going by yourself on the hike, make sure to let a family member or a loved one know where you're going, just in case you do get lost or hurt on the trail. They'll have some way of knowing where you are. Again, check out my other videos, subscribe. Thanks.